A map up in this best of 5 series, but we're not done yet.
Fallen propped in the flash just to see if anybody decides to push B. Common strategy on Cash is to triple push B side of the map with just with more than one player. Manise finding the smallest pixel to work with, completely decimating stew balls. For the 4 of MIBR to try to recuperate from this loss. Manise is also just continuing to hang out in A main, which grants him so much information. Very little chance that he's going to get mollied out of the spotter, for example, so he might have the option and ability to get 2. And yeah, this setup is looking very terrifying at the moment for Kinguin, as everyone from MIBR starts to work out mid. There's one player in Squeaky, but the bomb is left alone in A main, and Fallen is going to call that he can't do this alone.
Tarek trying to pinch onto Manise. He's still trying to skewer this. He doesn't want to go down, doesn't want to retreat. Wants to take a body with him. But the first casualty here to the CTs will come in the form of Taz, dropped off E-Box as Fur splits into the site. Reitz will nullify him, and finally Tarek's able to get himself out from the doors. There were flanks upon flanks in this round, and so as everybody dies for Kinguin, it's left only 2 Brazilians still up here.
That was unreal. They actually made that was like the hardest possible setup, I think, for them to break, especially with Manise in A main. Even him just staying alive made that very difficult, again, because Fallen had the bomb at the back of A main, no one to help him, and they had to have coldzera flank through Z, as well as a player come up highway, get his kill, and Tarek also did a great job at Squeaky with his Molotov, clear out all those angles.
Yeah, it's a good way of at least avoiding the actual problem there of Kinguin, that being Manise in main, and just isolating rotating players instead, forcing Manise to be stuck essentially in a 1v3 on the site. So great nades from MIBR, gotta say. There's a bit of a response coming back, but nothing in comparison. We've got Reitz and Rallen just half health. So certainly not a bad investment of $600 here for the T side, and now they're going to look to capitalize off the back of that early damage by taking some mid control. Problem being, there's no one here.
What happens next?
Rallen leaves B. Mouse takes his position a little bit closer, and this whole time, Launders, coldzera has been creeping step by step to the cusp of the B bomb site.
Dipping his little toes in the water.
Feeling it out.
See how cold it is. Wonder if he jumps in right away, Connor.
Could be a big splash. He's able to get the entry straight away because he's got the bomb behind him too.
Doesn't want to scare the fish away. Scott on his Wellingtons. He's wading in. He's being very careful not to cause any ripples.
Well, let's see if these big boots do charge themselves into the B site. Miles will have heard that drop from Tarek, so he's going to be ready for this one. Flash is so good. coldzera was just ready for that one. Easy kill, and the site is opened up for MIBR. That's probably going to just force a straight-up save. No kills from Kinguin, no control of the B site, and as if it wasn't hard enough to retake anyway, Kinguin are already on pistols. So hold on to that, give it another go next round, and cut your losses.
I feel like that's just coldzera's positioning based on also the amount of time that nothing had happened. This is the new Deagle animation, Hugo. Have you not seen it?
No, I like it. It's the first time I've seen it in a pro game, though.
It's very long.
Yeah.
It's like, extremely long.
We get it, bro. You Deagle.
Like other things, Hugo.
Like this this casting desk. We've got 3 of us here.
It's the longest casting desk, honestly.
You know, I was thinking, when was the last time the Counter-Strike community got a 3-man finals?
Clone
Northern
20.
Arena, 26.
He's got a second Deagle animation. He's got another Deagle animation.
Yeah.
It does not happen every time.
You can keep spinning it. I think you,
can you?
None of us have been home, so
I
we
haven't played CS in like 2 weeks. I've been on the road. Yeah, has it been like since Cologne? The last one I remember was Cologne 2015. Is that right? It was like
Northern
Henry.
Arena 2016.
Okay.
Yole noobs.
Scrawny.
You guys love yourself a TriCast, don't you?
A good memory.
Yeah, we like to share.
Who was the third?
Van Silly.
Van Silly.
Sandvilly.
We got some Canadian representation, but now the Brit is here.
The minority.
Explains the smell. Got it. Just the pistol still up for Kinguin, obviously. Not much in this one. It's that mid control from MIBR. When they were playing versus Flash on Cash, it was a lot of mid control, wasn't it, Mohan, from MIBR?
They did abuse highway a lot and made sure to test the A splits as well as just get top highway control so that they could fake if they needed to, and yeah, it was a lot of fur lurking out, and it's always good to play the positions that you're on T side, to go and clear the positions that you would play, get familiarized with what works and what doesn't on C, T, or T side.
But we have got fur worked all the way up middle already. MIBR have not had any trouble taking this portion of the map. I mean, you think back to the pistol round where Fur managed to split his way up through highway. Even then, Kinguin didn't have control. So Connector has been forfeited, and as a result, this is going to make matters worse for Kinguin once this A split does come through. Cold's even left the B site, so it's a full commitment for sure here, and Kinguin are just gambling on this being an A play. Luckily enough, they do have the manpower to try and hold back, but again, they don't have that weaponry. Let's see if MIBR can crack open this egg.
It's another one of those rounds where it's like MIBR get close just based on the fact that nothing's coming out from Kinguin. Just like last round at the B-bomb site, they are just going to try and use the numbers into A. First one falls, however, so it's not flawless, but it is looking better and better as Stewie clears corners. The mag goes dry a little too soon, and so he, of course, will fall himself, but it's still a successful entry, and they've got themselves the plant. That's what they most certainly needed.
Yeah, and Taz is just a few meters away from death. He's about to find that out. Cold Zero's already spotted him and cleaned him up. 3-0 for MIBR. No problem starting off this second map, as you would assume. Now we have the buy from Kinguin. Now we have their chance to get themselves back into this game. And with an AWP straight into the first round, we do not have a responsive one from MIBR.
Yeah. Manisa's at the back of the bus right now, so he's not going to have too many options. Kind of unfortunate. There's like 3 different spawns that can work for you on cash, whether it's going to be an A main pick, a mid, across the highway fast, or to go for a B main pick, and he's not got any of those, so it's kind of unlucky RNG in that regard. But he's still got the ability to move a lot, and if he is smart, can be fluid and have presence on multiple parts of the map in one single round. So it starts off here, posted on A main. Expect that this angle changes up if there are no targets to come and greet him. Kinguin have decided to really fortify A, which is not something you see if you don't think that a team is going to hit A straight up. Very retakeable site. Sometimes your players can be used more efficiently on other parts of the map. They're not seeking out any information, though. Got Mazinos here with the M4, poking around at Checker. Not sure how much he can see. And MIBR haven't given them MIBR haven't given them an inch.
Yeah, this is very passive from Kinguin. They are just very much playing in response to MIBR, who have, of course, gotten themselves closer and closer towards this middle split. First point of defense will be Rollin, and he's now getting curious. Now he's walking around, and he's got himself at least the first kill here, but he cannot handle the pressure of an additional 2 players in his face. Now, at least Kinguin have gotten their rotates over to the A site. They will be in position to try and stop this. But Benai's, oh, he's still got his eyes up. This is great from Kinguin. 4v1 with Fallen left. And because of the smoke grenades, Kinguin could wait on the other side, just like they had been doing since the get-go of that round. Kinguin on the board early this time.
Not the end of the world for MIBR, though. That was the bonus round. No AWP to fight back against Manice, and of course, a couple of SMGs still in play. So this will be the big upgrade for MIBR. This is their chance to find a reset. And of course, it's never fun to lose a round, but if you are going to lose a round, that's a perfect one to lose. They're going to have a great chance of bouncing back and resetting the economy here in number 5.
Option for the reset to the CTs, working up towards mid. Reets is actually going to the back of vents, and this time there is a specific... Oh, I see. They actually want to make sure that there was going to be no B-rush early, and then now they have a player in vent, so they've still got the checker control and 2 over towards B. They've actually swapped the rotate. Not sure if something went wrong out of spawn, but they are opting to stack without gaining too much information. MIBR have been very default-centric, so I'm not surprised they're not pushing. They probably would get punished. Though B at the moment is very clean. Value grenade comes over the top of boost. Rowland is going to jump up on top of the box. At a highway, getting very frisky. Wow. Rotates are going to be strenuous for the CTs if it isn't going to be an A hit. 3 players are really far in here.
I think Reitz is in the vents as well, so that adds a further dynamic to this mid play that MIBR have been continually on. Reitz is actually going to find first blood as well. Cold Zero can only stand so long on that boost, as now it's just going to be left to the main and Squeaky split. A retake setup from Kinguin, and it could only get better than this. It couldn't get better than this because they've already found two-man advantages. MIBR are going to have time to get this bomb down on the site, but it's going to be a bit of a task to hold on to it in the post plant.
Yeah, certainly considering the double incendiary still up for Kinguin and the proximity of Rollin. I mean, he could skewer this here and now. He will get himself the first and the continuous spray down the second. Fallen back by Fork, only good for one. I mean, they were so boxed in. Kinguin were so well equipped for the retake situation. That was just more so MIBR getting something in the round.
And hey, Londers, you said it last map, right? What if Kinguin started on the CT side of Dust too? We had that question, right? Maybe things would have gone better. At least on Cash, they're finding success.
A little bit weird there that they weren't more aware of the flank potential from A main. I guess maybe they didn't get settled in, and that's why they had no idea that that was a possibility. I feel like versus the setup, MIBR picked a prime part of the round to hit A. The rotate was late. The only two things that really went wrong was not watching that A main flank early, and then also for actually leaving A main before the smoke plume for the cross, allowing him to get opt for no reason.
So for the first time in this series, Team Kinguin have a gun advantage over top of MIBR. And that's not going to stop the T side from getting a little bit closer to the A site. It's all in for this. Rollin in towards middle. Manice actually bails out of the bomb site. Offer up the plant, so be it. If they're able to keep themselves with minimal losses, then that's fantastic for Kinguin. But at least Fur has connected a kill for the T's. Manice drops his body right thereafter. Keep your eyes on the radar, though. Fallen's up to some gimmicks.
He's coming in on the flank. Rowland seems to be one step ahead, though. He's ready for this push, and perfect timing on the kill. Now this is going to make things easier for Kinguin to come in on the retake, although Stewie, he's the man with the deagle, the man with the plan. He's already found two heads to start it off. Third walks around the corner, and Manice will finally find that shot. So Kinguin, while they sustain some casualties in that round, they will be able to pick it up just as a diffuse kit player jumps on the bomb.
Yeah, good on Stewie there. That's the difference between just getting a little cash for yourself and also getting that money while hindering the economy of your opponent.
Knocking out 10K in 2 shots, I mean, that's a good deal. 3-3, and Kinguin don't have to change much. Everything they're doing is working. They've got a good couple of setups that are working for them, and it's even though they don't have the setups for the site holds, they've actually come in on rotations and still win rounds. They can do a lot with that. I think if MIBR are picking the wrong rounds to scout out mid, Kinguin are going to take advantage of that. Feels like they've finally got like kind of a good feel for what's about to happen. Trades go crazy at mid. Tarek and Fur find one apiece. Taz in the midst of it gets his, but that's going to favor MIBR all day.
Yeah, it seemed like Kinguin had a bit of a response for this mid-control in the past rounds, but this time just the sheer aggression from MIBR has overwhelmed them.
Through the molly.
Yeah. What can you do about that?
This is a curious situation because Bomb is completely alone towards Squeaky Door on the back of Fallen. And the only A defender, Manice, is cleared out through A main. So he's going to double back and try to take Squeaky Door, but I feel like Fallen's got his head on a swivel.
Oh my gosh.
Oh!
Whoa!
You hate to see it.
What is that?
And now that bomb is so stranded. I mean, Manice could try to commit to this. You can see his team already trying to rebound back towards this side of the map. Manice unsure as to whether or not Fallen was alone, but what he does know is he can just try to keep himself in control of this device. Manice misses the shot on the man who has retrieved the bomb. And with 40 seconds left, Stu could walk away from this.
Need to hurry up though. Kinguin has started to realize now the opportunity to go towards B is in the plan of MIBR, so they've started to draw back Mouse. The thing is, did MIBR even commit? They still have players in main, they've only boosted a couple over, so this is going to be the mid-split with the bomb, and Fur coming back to the site that has 2 Kinguin players on. As long as they hold onto that Squeaky Door, things could be very good for Kinguin.
And he knows that there's an opper over here because he heard Manice shoot. So Coldzera not spotting anyone on highway is going to try and clear out Z, but look at the clock. There is 8 seconds left. This bomb has to go down. It's going to try to plant itself on the other side of red. The players in sight can do nothing to stop it. They found a safe spot to plant that is so smooth, but it's not over because Reitz is still in here. And he's got his work set out for him. Too much to handle. Nice stuff there from the offense.
That's pretty crazy. I can't believe they went for the opposite side of the site plant. With the amount of time left over, I would hope that that was the plan to start off with, because it seemed to be getting way too low, you know, for them to even think about default. But that was extremely nice, and they even had Cold Zero for the insurance to go into Z in case there were a rotator or to kill anybody at truck who tried to deny the plan.
Honestly, you can never sleep on MIBR in any situation. Even with 10 seconds left, it still seems like they have such an opportunity. That round reminds me of the one versus MVP yesterday on Inferno, where they had 5 seconds left on the B bomb site on the T side. First suddenly finds 2 headshots, and they get a plant in with a second remaining. You can never count out this roster.
The only thing that would have screwed them in that situation was if there was a CT player towards truck. But I think they've realized that since they had the chance to head out towards the B site, Kinguin would have thrown a man over on that opposite side of the map, and sure enough, then Coldzera gets the rotate. So really cool last round, kicking this one off into the favor of MIBR. They lose Fur in mid as he gets 1 kill of his own. The double op still up for Kinguin, and you can see they're very curious. They're trying to clear out the A-halls. But nice with a flick shot and denial from Fallen.
He didn't even see him. Like, he didn't have any time to see him there.
Couldn't hide.
Can't run either. Miles is going to get cut down from behind. Stewie this time ready outside the squeaky door. And Rallen, he's all that's left up. These 2 Deagle kills at the back of quad from Stewie just 2 rounds prior are now coming into a lot of effect. Kinguin's economy has been absolutely torn to shreds after this round. Yes, they had the double AWP, but they also had pistols in play.
It's good of you to keep inventory of that. That's definitely something like we always forget just in this world where we're living in the moment of the game, but the economy, the economic effects of previous rounds rippling is very important to highlight. It's definitely going to be a factor as Rallen falls back here to Squeaky with an AWP, which is nice. Did they, when they had to split on that last round onto A, did they have a man advantage, or was it like a 3v3?
It was a 3v3 situation.
3v3 situation.
Yeah, you had a
bomb back.
It's really creative mid-rounding going on there.
Yeah, CT Opper inside of Squeaky Door, 1 on the standard plant, and then you had that third Kinguin player who had to go have eyes on B.
MIBR ticking every single box though. Very, very, nice exits towards that CT spawn. Not rushing in and risking losing a player to that AWP that was saved, but instead just flashing their team in and again keeping up this sick team play that we've been seeing. This 1-2 combo of these duos of MIBR that was so prevalent back on Dust 2. However, for now, this is going to be another easy affair for the T side. It's just 1 AWP for Kinguin and flat USPs. Easier said than done. And MIBR know it as well. Look at the pace that they've set up. Instead of one of these slow defaults, it looks to be a quick contact play out through A main. I don't think Kinguin are going to have any response to this.
Open as a sign. Not that the shot will connect regardless, but look how quickly MIBR just burst out into the open. They have no cover in the form of smoke, but it doesn't matter because they get their kills. The USPs can do nothing. Nothing at all, other than damage.
Late explodes, late smokes on walkouts are my favorite because you avoid getting counter-naded completely. Any team that plays too safe will always get punished in that situation. Like we saw the op, he can get 1 kill, he cannot get 2. You know, swarmed. The top of forklift, the side of forklift, there's a bunch of options for the terrorists who have already made their way out of the choke point to get those kills. So even though you, on contact plays, you have a high chance of the first guy dying, especially in like some very passive setup with like some very trained CTs on angles that they're very comfortable with, it's going to be very difficult past that point, especially when pressing rotations.
This is a bit of a shift. A much more aggressive stance coming out of the counter-terrorists, and look what it nets them. A 5v3 with a B push that leaves the bomb back and gives a chance for Rollin to sneak forward.
Yeah, especially after you have a 5v3, there's no way MIBR expects continual aggression from Kinguin. Bait shots in through the grate, but Rallen's going to be the one finding the frag. He even gets close to doubling it, but Stu pulls it back. Either way, I don't think Kinguin can be too upset about that one. Stewie's down to 10 points of health, and they still have a double man advantage. Minute on the clock for MIBR to bail themselves out of this spot, but it's not going to be an easy one. Kinguin have 2 players per site. MIBR are going to have to get some serious luck in this round to actually have a chance.
Creative mid-rounding is what they need to dig deep for some. It'll take quite the series of errors, quite the series of unfortunate events for Kinguin to lose this one, but I like that they always work back towards middle. One of the reasons teams do this, even though you run out of time. And here's the flank out from Beast. That might just close things up. Knows exactly where the last person is as well. Stu making it known. If he didn't already, what a shot. Cleans his clock. Can't pick up the bomb, however, and is traded out in the end. But one of the reasons that teams will go back to mid, even though you can't plant the bomb, is just because as a CT, you're not going to spend too much time in middle for the rest of the rounds. Once you've established presence there, it's not actually smart to even hang out there, and it's going to be as later, the further you go into the round, the more likely it is that a terrorist is going to go right to the side as well. So when you're low on numbers, sometimes it's actually really good to go for mid. It's like, as a CT, you think about it, if I have 4v2, why am I going to try to defend mid and risk losing a kill? So there's some free map control as a terrorist when you're down in numbers to maybe make things happen in a round.
Mibr wanting to go for a B play, it seems. We've not seen a full-on rush for a while. Let's see if Kinguin can hold the tide.
A nice scope back in. Misses his first chance, but he's been given a grace for just a second. Looked like he'd have a high hope, but no. Fallen even denying the heaven peak above. So 4v3 as bomb crosses over. Taz quickly trying to get some real estate behind. It's not quite certain whether or not there is an anchor here. Somebody holding on to the flank. There isn't. In fact, we've got the defenders all between the checkers and the bomb site. Coldzera's even inside of the vents, a little cheeky. Hoping to blindside Taz if he does take a step forward, but it's honestly very likely that they just hold and look for some exits.
Yeah, again, this economy is not unstoppable from Mibr. Kinguin can certainly put a dent in it with a kill or two here. And they're going to have an opportunity, at least for Coldzera, who's exiting through the vents. It's going to be Taz on the other side. Not the angle you're going to be looking at typically, but he moves out of the position. Big error. Tarek even follows up to Rallen, so that is a complete failure from Kinguin. They aim for exits, instead they get wrecked.
I mean, so Taz tries to cross in front of vents, maybe to exit towards mid, but Rallen literally just runs into the back of the bomb site once the explosion goes off. And his teammate, who he was saving by tree with, was all the way up on truck.
You're trying to trade as if you're the one who has like the economic advantage.
Yeah.
You're just trying to do whatever you can.
Yeah.
Like they are behind right now. They don't have the guns that they could have had right now.
And that would mean they could buy here. With
That
two more
would-
saved rifles, they would have a full buy.
Exits means exits. And in this case, they didn't commit.
Right.
That's what I always say. Like, it really annoys me. Either have a, you've got to have a game plan. If you're going to save, save. If you want to do damage to the economy, do damage. Don't sit in that midpoint where you're stuck between the two choices. You need to actually have a decisive, choice in that scenario.
You're stealing from yourself.
Yeah.
It's the only person you're stealing from.
And that's just stupid.
The future you. Why would you ever do that? You live and learn.
Mibr are stealing the rounds away at this point in time, 7-4. Kinguin, they have gone for the buy regardless, so they really would have loved those save guns. Look at this absolute mess. 1 AK, 1 FAMAS, 1 UMP, and 2 pistols. And Mibr certainly not going to be sweating about this one. It is starting to look very, very good for this team side. Great nades as well. Reeds even tries to get aggressive, but there's no way he'll live through that one. Not sure at the level of commitment after getting tagged to 20. The boost comes through. We've not seen this for a while, but Coldzera remains ever vigilant, waiting on the other side.
Whoa! A slower reaction from Coldzera there.
Might have been on the radar or something, yeah. Was weird.
Again, maybe it was to do with the fact that he was moving. Doesn't want to shoot while walking.
Could be.
It could have got timed.
That's why, on a side note, that's why it's always good to peek someone who is running at you, because it's so much harder to counter-strafe if you think about your fingers.
Yeah.
Go from W to S if you do play WASD. I don't want to be.
Who doesn't play WASD?
I play.
There are freaks out there, Hugo.
Yeah, I know. When people use like
I play
arrow keys.
RDFG in some games.
Why?
And there are
Really?
people in Quake who play middle of the keyboard. DDK plays middle of the keyboard and Counter-Strike as
I
well.
can respect that because then you have like the reach of binds, but it's when people play, arrow keys. It's like you have no other buttons to press. You have to have the longest goddamn fingers
Call
if
them
you
out.
want to reload. Yeah, I'm going to call them out. Even if you're right hands, use your goddamn numpad. Come on, guys.
Yes.
Come on, guys. Let's be reasonable. Let's work on this together. We can change the culture.
Change the world.
One step at a time, baby.
Pistols. So yes, one step at a time. They're going to have to get through this step in order to have much of a chance in the follow-ups. I mean, it's better than what we saw in Dust 2, so it seemed, but all of a sudden, you know, we are quite lopsided here. Double the score of Kinguin is Mibr. They've been given a lot of free real estate towards mid once more, but Fur can't connect the shots.
I think he said, "I'm so bad at Brazilian." That's what I would say in English. Because I don't know Portuguese, but
He had I think he just kind of struggles at that angle, because yesterday he couldn't get a kill on a man towards toxic barrels for the longest of times either. So stop going highway, Fur. Mind you, sometimes the easiest kills somehow end up being the hardest. You know, they've got USPs.
And again, never devalue the fact that you can run super fast with pistols. It makes it harder to hit.
Well, the buy is back in for Kinguin, but not exactly the best. No kits, no AWP. Barely any utility as well. We've got a couple of incendiaries actually here, but players like Manice, Ral, and Hay are really lacking. This is going to be a tough task for Kinguin, as has this series been preluded to be.
Feels like this is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
This has been kind of a grind. It just feels like every round, Mibr have just been 20% better.
Yeah.
You know, it hasn't been as one-sided in terms of, wow, they're just aim mapping like they did on Dust 2. They really are working for these rounds, but they're somehow pulling them out of their hat.
That being said, though, think about how Kinguin, you know, the scoreline maybe not representing it, but if you think about the context of each round that Kinguin have had, it was an early start that got them on the board, right? Sure. How many rounds has this been in a row for Mibr? You know, maybe aside from one reset. This has been a pretty one-sided game apart from the pistol and onwards from that.
Yeah, I think the start just kind of set the bar higher, so we haven't fallen all the way into the depths of what was Dust 2.
Yeah.
And they've got a man advantage. This isn't a position we find them into often, so I'm sure they realize that as well. They will be taking a deep breath and attempting to make the most of it. Got 1 foot through the door, but they've closed squeaky.
We've got a committee of CT players that are taking over the A site, making sure that there is no way on a full execute that they could lose. Mibr, with a little bit of clarity of mind, might be able to take Taz out. They see a chance here for a boost to have occurred, and Taz swings out wide. The crouch spray wants to fall off, but can't make the adjustment in time.
Nice though in sight. He's able to get himself a second. Taz was lucky to have been alive. Fallen. Yeesh. He's going to give up half of his health for that duel, and so it is the numbers game from Kinguin, which will eventually overwhelm him. You can see Taz with 1 point of health. Just wanted to drop the Molotov. Wanted to try and deny any further exits. But right from the get-go, we had Mibr with their attention trained in above. They had a feeling he was up there, and they were right in assuming so. Go on.
And it is kind of a timing game for Taz.
Exactly.
If the angle gets closed off on him, he's totally screwed, but he doesn't want to peek too early and end up just getting pre-fired, so he did play it pretty correctly, apart from just kind of fumbling with the extra utility he wanted to expel before repositioning. Falling on the door has been a very common adjustment that I like to see from players on the boost, because you can actually sit on top of the door, get another kill from a different angle into A-main, fall back and fight again.
Two fast ones. Two very fast ones. Looking like Kinguin could make the most of these final waning few rounds here on their CT side. Coldzera spotted in the open, but not punished by Manice. Little utility for Mibr to try and work execution, so I feel like they just need to dwindle down numbers first. And while they do get one kill, they've also sustained another death, so things not looking any easier as we get further and further into this situation. But now it's Reetz's chance to really shut it down.
Back turned, easy kill. Even if the AWP's there, it's still going to be a clutch needed for Fallen. A 1v2, with Miles already hearing the footsteps back into the vents. He can call for his teammate to run. Although the vents have to be broken, so Fallen fakes it out, doesn't drop with it. Mouse is ready on the other side, but 30 seconds left. Fallen, he's got to make a decision. He's still being flanked. Taz is ready to push into main if it does continue to be an A play. But Fallen just hesitates only to further drop back into the vent room. He needs to check this corner, and he does. Looks away, and there it is. 6 rounds of Kinguin and a half. They find a couple in the end of the day, and that might just be enough to set them up for some more success here on Cash.
Saw Kinguin get to the board with the first gun round. They were able to string 3 together, so that's why things definitely looked good. We were 6 rounds deep, and the game was tied.
Yeah.
Right? Nearly halfway through the first 15. But it was that very crucial hard reset in the next 7 rounds, right smack dab in the center, that certainly cost them. However, they also then add 2 at the end. So
that's not bad at all. Again, take into account they're underdogs coming into this game. They're mapped down by dominant fashion. They already lost pistol to end the half of the 9-6. Kinguin should be happy with that one. But again, it just comes down to winning the next pistol. They lose it, and suddenly it's 12-6, and that's when things fall out of control.
I was going to say, though, I mean, of all the maps where you think to where you may find the most of successful of T-sides, you know, after Dust, Cash can be one of them. So I don't think Kinguin should be all too upset. You know in the back of your head that the economy definitely played a factor in limiting your ability to find rounds. Losing the pistol and the conversion points didn't stop them from having a strong start in the guns. And then, of course, even after all of the tribulations, they add those extra 2. So they were competent throughout the entirety of those 15 rounds, right? It wasn't like on Dust 2 where the first 12 were so flat. They actually had stake in many of those rounds despite losing them to Mibr.
Oh, I absolutely co-sign that. And new half, new map. New Kinguin. For those of you just joining us, we're here in the Hong Kong Convention Center, the biggest convention center in Hong Kong. Seems like it was newly built, to be honest.
Yeah.
One of the most enormous convention centers that I've ever been in. And alongside the esports tournaments, we've got at ZOTAC Masters, we've got the EMF Music Festival, which is a big festival in Hong Kong, as well as a lot of like tech-oriented booths and a showroom floor with tons of stuff. And unlike with other showrooms, they actually sell some of this stuff, which is really cool. You can buy a mouse, you can buy an SSD, you can buy a monitor, and there's a ton of tech enthusiasts as well as esports people in the building.
You're buying a ZOTAC Mini PC, I hear, Launders?
I absolutely will pick up a ZOTAC Mini PC. And I would love to go into great detail about this, but I'm pretty sure somebody's going to execute before I'm done, and I'll regret it.
Oh, look at this push. Stewie's already in the spawn. Mouse is going to trade things back, so it's not all bad for Team Kinguin. You did lose that man advantage, but he still has a second player here. First, still aggressive as ever. Mouse still doubling down. Kinguin have actually made a bit of a mockery out of Mibr in this point in time, but where will they end up? It looks like the B site.
Yeah, you're walking into Cold Zera. So, best of luck. He's got the cover to try and fall off after the duel. Eventually gets it, but it's used up a lot of his ammo. He's got 6 rounds left, and that's not going to be enough now. Fallen has to clutch. This has been a 4K from Mouse. He could still find himself the ace, but it's Taz to take it. A pistol round for Kinguin could certainly spell a turnaround as they're seeking to tie it right away.
Amazing 4-frag from Mazzino on those entries, and the rotate into B. And Kinguin have no slouch on the pistols. They actually have had no problem. Mibr, one of the highest scoring teams in terms of pistol round conversions at the tier 1 in the past few months. And that's, it's a smaller sample size with them, but it's still like kind of astounding how good they are. And it all comes down to how good each player is pound for pound, just on an individual level. I don't really personally believe in pistoling players being the best players. Statistically, some of the players that we laud as being the best pistoling players, it's like Dennis and such, they aren't even at the top of the list in terms of most kills on pistols, but still they get flashy kills.
Yeah.
They get multi-frags on important rounds, things like that really help them stand out. But in terms of consistency overall and versatility with all weapons, Mibr have that in spades. I'm sure that contributes.
Zera not connecting these Deagle shots. That's going to cost him his life because he's still stuck here in the connector. Rallen eventually bites him back with a bit of a Glock, and Tarek is all that stands here for the Brazilians and Americans.
Oh, the door is open. Tarek's going to get himself right onto the bomb site. He even grabs the AK. Now this is going to throw a bit of a spanner in the works. He's looking for more damage, and he's going to deal it out. A man straight behind him, though, is his demise. Reitz had gone off towards A main, so, you know, Tarek's probably assuming, hell, if I can walk out through Squeaky Door, there must be nobody over here. And sure enough, he'll fall after. Nice attempt, though. You turn a 1v4 situation down to just 2 survivors, you're definitely strapping them for cash.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Tarek,
Tarek who?
you're dead.
Comedy genius. Well, it's a pistol round for MIBR, but they're up against guns, so good luck. The quad B stack could certainly be the answer to their problems. That's a Kinguin run in willy-nilly without thinking about it. However, it's actually MIBR going for the push into their own death. Coldzera is the only man to find a frag. And with that, Kinguin start to cement their place on this B site. The problem is when you have a stack there, it's like Kinguin are going to get 1 kill and go, oh, there's only 1 player left up, it's fine. And then you kill 2 and you're like, oh, the site's clear. You kill 3 and you're like, oh, no, it's stacked. But it's no problem for them. They make it clean, only 1 death. Now we go into the buy rounds, and MIBR are already back on that AWP.
Last time we saw things tied, it was at 3 rounds apiece. And then right afterwards, we had, of course, that flurry of rounds from MIBR that really cemented their half. So we'll see if the gun round can be, again, the game changer.
It's a reminder of how far they actually got
Yeah.
in this game early on. Are we not seeing kits on the board? Nobody's
Or head
actually...
armor.
Or head armor, yeah.
It is the first buy round.
Right. Fallen's got no armor at all. Bare bones.
Naked.
The good wool buy. The food stand buy.
Stewie's just going to commit to the straight out and even takes down a third. He knew he had enough bullets to get it done. Here's Fur. He has come from the shadows to catch Taz by surprise. 1v5 on Mount Zeno. He's already been found out, so this is just Stewie winning a round for the Brazilians.
No armor needed, Launders.
That was nasty, dude.
He's streaking through the map.
He's naked.
Well, this is the X factor of MIBR coming back in with a big round. Let's look at that again. Stewie's locking down this door, mate. That was padlocked. No, go away.
Round's like, well, I can't even run anymore. There's no point. Let me just play this one for myself. Easy, I'll catch Stewie falling back. But no, Stewie totally aware of what setup was coming his way. And that allows MIBR to bar everything else that they were missing from last round. A couple of kits, head armor for the boys.
I feel like with the amount of aggression we're already seeing out of MIBR, they are playing the CT side very differently to the way that Kinguin were initially on that first half.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an ebb and flow to a map like Cash, whereby if either team can push most portions of the map straight from the get-go, and you tend to respond by aggressing yourself elsewhere. But
yeah,
this time it was towards that B bomb site. They disengage after taking damage. Each team just sharing some shells.
I think that one of the most common ways that we see people push B is actually the most effective is using that snack smoke to get B main control. It's so incredibly annoying as a terrorist to know that in your default someone is throwing a snack smoke and they can be in sunroom and then suddenly forcing you to either go back to clear things out or just hope that you're not going to get fast flanked. I feel like it's one of the most consistent ways to do something that's predictable but still hard to deal with. One of the best CT options that we've seen MIBR use once just now. So early on in half, it's forced. Squeeze Kinguin out into mid.
There's not a lot of time left for this one. They've got to go fast. Luckily enough, MIBR, they've gambled completely on the wrong side of the map. They've thrown 4 players on B, and I have no idea why. There was no one in B main.
It's because they have A main control, so Fallen called.
Oh.
Hey, it's probably going to be B. You guys can leave.
He might be able to stop this. There's only 10 seconds left. If he drops a bomb, this round could be over. Fallen's found the first, and first doubled up as well, but the bomb has made its way to the site. It should just go down in time, but that could be it for Team Kinguin. It's surrounded by CT side, and there's only 1 player left up for this team. Kaz is going to grab a quick kill, but surely that'll be all she wrote. Somehow crossing for the bomb there, but...
Yeah, because the time was ticking down so low, the one liability was mid. And so Fallen said, okay, worst case scenario, I get a kill, I stay alive, we defend against A, we have a great retake spot. If you guys go to B, it just seems like it's probably going to be B right now. Small misread, but they still had, it still wasn't totally irresponsible. They still had ways to recover from that.
Yeah, he took the any essence of irresponsibility. he took the responsibility
onus on
for.
himself,
Exactly,
yeah.
and then he still delivers, not only getting that first kill, but then also causing Taz to try and give chase. I love the way that Fallen just tucks away into the corner. Taz then has to bail on attempting to get the kill. That isolates Taz's only teammate to be completely alone, and MIBR easily pick up the pieces. So even if they stack 4 guys on the other side of the map, you can never count them out.
Yeah, well said. And as you mentioned, Hugo, like, you know, it was weird. They were so low on time, and there was no one A or B. Like,
Yeah.
where were they?
Well, Kinguin with a desperation B rush. Tarek is close by, so he's surely going to get at least 1 or 2 here. And they don't even check it. There it goes. Tarek with 2. Cold is going to double up as well. The iconic combo on this B site, it seems. And absolutely no problem for MIBR.
No, not even a bead of sweat with that round.
Tarek and Cole have been working together on everything.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's the beauty. Again, I feel like you brought this up on Dust 2, and I'm still reminiscing. You can combine any 2 players on MIBR, and that, to me, I just want to sit and watch how they work within a bomb site. You know, I want to see all of these players be tested with 5-man pushes just to see what kind of synergy we get out of them.
It was very interesting. Fur, I once referred to him as the Vegeta of the team. Just his attitude towards Counter-Strike and how he's always lacked respect for all of his opponents, and not necessarily a rude way, but just as like a mentality thing. He's always just believed he was better and seems to be working more alone in a lot of these situations. Fallen and Stewie have been pairing off quite often on different maps, including this one. And it seemed to be working.
Did they boost up and kill someone in Sunroom? Because I think Cole was on the site and he just got a kill with the orb. So
I guess they did do the triple boost, huh?
and killed someone in Sunroom. Not sure about that.
Oh, just spotting bodies for up and above. Cannot get himself the second. Now Stewie's got a flash to play with. That's when he tries to find his kills, but he's not going to force the issue. That's fine. They are still maintaining the push outwards to Kinguin. They are still isolated inside A main, but those 2 kills where the CT step forward could definitely change things. I mean, the health is so incredibly low, but the clock's at 45 seconds, and we've got an interesting position from an ice where he's going to wrap around towards middle. If he skewers this A site, then it could put Taz in a position to succeed, but Fallen has moved towards a forklift, so his back not exposed, and now that the smoke has faded, Taz is on full display, and he just gets popped. His noggin, sloppy. Nice now gets the chance, but he can't get either kill right away, so he's been figured out, and remember, 3 HP is all he has to play with.
Oh, this is the hardest of crossfires to try to figure out. Fallen just getting that information allowed him to know that Manice would cross to the right side of Fork, unbeknownst to him.
That's such a shame for Taz as well, right? Because all Taz has to do there is stay alive and allow his teammate to come in on the flank. That's why Taz just sits there with the bomb.
He had one of the best positions to do that from. Like, he wasn't really safe anywhere else. If he could have been on default, maybe, but he didn't know where the 2 opponents were. So, yeah, he had to delay for like an extended period of time, and the flank was done really well too, where it was so fast. Like, he ran all the way to mid so early that he gave himself time to walk, and with just one more moment or just a little bit more patience from MIBR, like in a negative sense where Fallen doesn't go for information, they could potentially pull off a really great 2v2 mid-round with low HP.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Another B play, but this time position swap for Cold and Tarek, and that may not be a good thing because Cold's up close with the AWP versus pistols. Does retreat to the back of the site. Molotovs fire over it, so this is going to start to get hot. Tarek's got to step up as his teammate has already been taken out of the equation, but he's just hiding in the smoke, staying alive, delaying as long as he can, but he can't do a thing post that. Mal's takes him down, and that's 2 gun upgrades for the side of Kinguin.
2 CTs up now. Like you said, the upgrades, that's the most important thing. It's not just distance frags with the M4s in the dirt. No, they have been acquired. Mind you, the riflemen for Team Kinguin have also been softened up, but clearly they're not going for this round. Fallen just wants to deal some sort of damage. This is just one of those moments whereby Kinguin throw a Hail Mary, and it finds the players off guard. I mean, Tarek, he's in the back of the bomb site. They throw the smoke grenades at their feet to try and keep themselves alive. I thought that was a beautiful move from Tarek and his teammate to bail into the smoke and then off of the flash try to reemerge, but he was just completely wrecked by a flailing CZ-75. And sometimes there's just nothing you can do about that.
Still a perfect execute though from Kinguin, right?
Yeah.
Molly to force out Cold out of that position, Smoke to cut off the exterior of B main to not give him a sightline with that AWP, and then as you said, you know, it was a great reaction from Tarek, but he had to react because they full mollied the site. So nice execute from Kinguin.
Definitely was. Yeah, I mean, the Molotov just was like a trump card where they had Tarek ready to smoke at least one of them out at default, and then Cold was not assuming that anyone would molly out oranges, one of the rarest Molotovs that you'll see on B, and then there was one back triple, so the only play he even had was to push. Definitely worked out well. Oh, nice. Small opportunity there.
What was Fallen doing?
Not even sure exactly. I think he was going to jump up. I don't know if he was going to jump up on Toxic, but the smoke was right there, so no one to boost. It's unclear. Wow. It's a dangerous little wall bang. I honestly thought they padded that wall up a couple years ago and didn't allow for you to wall bang easily out of A main.
Which one, sir?
Just from the back of A main to mid. More specifically from mid to A main, which is how people used to use it.
Well, it's just as well. People don't like to do that because if you, especially if you're a CT, right, if you're pushed up that far in mid and you're going for this wall bang here where Stewie is, it's giving away the fact that you're deep in mid. So, and the value you get from it, the chance you're going to get a kill through that is so low.
Yeah. Especially when that's a position where you have really no fallback unless you can get into the vent. And in doing so, you've got to run out into the open, you've got to jump as well. You're just super exposed. But here comes the execution into the A-bomb site. We have seen smooth nade usage from Kinguin, and they've done a good job of flustering the defenders, making them move and not allowing for them to be comfortable in their positions. But they have been comfortable in landing at 6 shots. The spray down from Fur is going to be good for only 1, but again, you can't get past all of these bodies. They're so stacked up on the bomb site. Mibr just clamping down now, and a knife from Stewie!
Gang!
The slice and slash.
Yikes.
The cash in his pockets. This guy's not entertained. Do it on land.
Oh dear. Look at this kill distribution as well from Mibr. Apart from third down at 11, everyone's between 16 to 20. I mean, this is pretty close. Not a bad map for the Brazilians. Kinguin just trailing behind. They've got the AWP here, but it is just a charity shot by. They're hoping for a miracle. Try and keep them in this, because if they give away 15, they're going to have no money left back up. All on this one.
Interesting setup from the CTs as they start to aggress into B main together. Opt to support, actually. Rifle to take first contact. Cold's the one to leave. Tarek finds a spot in Sunroom, so they can have one outside at mid, fast rotate to B now. Suddenly B is extremely fortified, and we're running out of jobs in this town called Cash. There's not a lot to do as a CT this late in the round besides defend B straight up, and apart from that, push.
Nobody to help out Fur. He's going to have to hope that maybe this goes over limits. It does long enough for him to get himself 1 kill, but has this created any new jobs on Cash?
I'd say that this is actually, it's continued to be a good thing for the CTs. Even just making it a 4v4 makes it that much easier. We see how all the information that Tarek gained paid off. I mean, the economy's good in this town, you know. They're thriving. High-paying jobs at the very least. Even if there aren't many.
Good night, Cold Zero. Fancy getting out orbed on the peak. Mouse is going to be in this B site now, and Kinguin are up for a shot. Molotov is going to hold them back for a few more seconds. They've not got much of that. 15 on the clock as the bomb makes its way to the back of the site, and it is an open plant. With Reach covering the cross, it's a double push from Mibr, but it's a double kill from Kinguin. Cleaned up the round, and they're still in this game. They do not want to let it slip.
That's a super strong recovery, again, with just all the information, map patrol that was gained. Fur went 1 for 1 in mid. Tarek got 2 kills, 2 for 1 on B. So the against all odds 2v3, and fair enough to Cold Zero. He did actually hit the shot, but it just wasn't as clean. Hit him through the wall.
Happens to the best of us.
Especially considering Tarek's play. That was a fantastic recovery. I mean, Mouse was the man that I wanted to see step up, and that's one of those individual plays now where I've got to give him some credit.
Yeah, that's one of the situations where MIBR, because of Tarek's position, right, they already know that's got to be a late round B execute from Kinguin. And instead of risking fully rotating, they actually just put cold air in the hopes of, oh, you know, he should be able to find these last 2 players. And that's always awkward because, yeah, you know, there's an alternate world very close where he gets both kills and that's fine. But if in the case that he gets a tag and he goes down, there we go. Kinguin is suddenly in with a huge opportunity. Once that bomb's down in the back of the B site, it's very hard to retake it, even in a 2v2.
Here we are, similar scenes, but with worse weapons. Clear emphasis on the B half of the map for MIBR. And it seems like as soon as things cool down, all they do is they go and scout it out and see if this passive default that Kinguin have been running will test them, crossing over towards Sunroom. Manice, all the way back and Spawn is going to be the man to make sure that you don't take a step too far. Soon enough, you would think there's going to be an engagement. Lines in the sand have been drawn. These 2 gang leaders just holding on to their territories.
Stalemate until Fallen gives it up. MIBR just waiting at this point. Kinguin have gained a lot of map control up this highway. Rallen's just on the edge of the A bomb site. Dewey's occasionally checking. This could get very, very dicey for the CT side in just a moment.
Stewie just got bored, fires a couple of shots, and then why not? Burr comes in from the corner with 1. So they attract the attention and still go down with 1 kill apiece. Now that is fine because it puts you still in a 3v3 even keel. But now the scout's gone. That was supposed to be the heaviest hitter. Now Tarek's going to have to pick up pieces. And to the left and right.
Oh, 1 shot missing, and that's probably the red flag because now they know exactly where he is. I like how Kinguin don't face. Why bother? Why give a gun away? Why lose money this late in the game? Wait for him to come to you, and Mouse does exactly that. 3 kills in the round from Mouse. We already talked about him being one of the big players to step up so far this event. 21 frags, top of the team, top of the server, in fact.
Yeah, he's had a memorable performance at this LAN for sure. And you know, player that's been around the block.
I heard VP are going to need a player after the major.
Ooh, they do have a slot open. HLTV confirmed, Hugo.
Hey, even AGO. Although they're more looking for an AWPer.
There's that meme of a picture with Snatchy. It said, what have I done?
Been eliminated in the quarterfinals.
You know, I feel like I haven't seen much mid work from MIBR CT side.
Yeah.
Outside of a few rounds where we've got guys up close in the corners.
Yeah, they've been focusing so much on this B push, which I actually really, really like. And now that they see that Kinguin will go mid, I think it's just going to be their prerogative to make sure that they are conditioned to not want to do it all the time. coldzera getting called out of his spot right out the gate. Tarek now with a lot of pressure put on him. Once again actually dies to the spam. Taz knows exactly how he's going to play that smoke. And that's it. The site has been excavated. Not even the bones of the players remain.
Well, how MIB are going to dig themselves out of this one. Things are getting drastically close, Connor. This is not the stomp that we once expected.
I mean, again, Team Kinguin has played all of the 16-14s we've seen this event. So maybe we're gunning for another. Still anybody's match. I mean, MIBR did such a good job in that first half, using the economy control to really get themselves there. That's something they haven't had here. They haven't broken Kinguin at any point.
Yeah, no, Kinguin just have such a good feel for the map right now. These are like the last 3 rounds MIBR have pushed B. This is the first round, and Kinguin have decided to actually go B right at the gate, and it's the first one that MIBR played passively. They didn't fall for the conditioning, right? The exact same thing, the exact thing that they didn't want. The exact same that MIBR tried to disincentivize them from going for. They did early on, too. So they're not playing the same games as MIBR, and that's got to leave them scratching their heads.
A real match on our hands, it seems, and that's exactly what we wanted here. We have the most fans we've seen all event as well in the 3rd floor of the Hong Kong Exhibition and Convention Center. So shout out to everyone that has turned up today.
When you get a view of the room from ceiling to floor, just remember that we are already 3 floors up, and that there are 3 more of these halls above us.
Are there?
Yeah.
Really?
Holy
Yeah,
smokes.
there's 6 in total.
I thought it was just 2.
That is
No.
unbelievable. I
We're
mean, one of these
scratching the
places
surface.
is literally, I don't even know what would you compare this to?
An air hangar.
An air hangar, yeah. You could fit planes in here.
A library.
Your library.
Yeah. I've got my dressing gown on and my cup of tea ready. Oh, it's a fast mid play though for Kinguin. House is just going to deck Stewie goodnight. The Penguins are out to play, it seems, and Fur's going to get mollied into the open. Another one to the slaughter for the Kinguin side. This is a half buy from Mibr. The AWP is the only rifle left up, but it might just be enough. Fallen does take down Taz in response. The thing is, those guns are pretty irretrievable unless Kinguin give up the mid control, which they do, only to go back towards B.
Coldzera's in the corner, though, and he's got the element of surprise onto Rollin. He was trying to clear a little longer, and that's now going to allow for the double peek to come in. These eagle shots needed to get the kills because now they've been given a chance to disengage.
With the 3rd player, though, on Kinguin, here to keep their options open, has already made his way up highway. And that's Mouse to make sure that they have a safe passage back across the map. An insurance policy, if you will.
And Fallen thinks he's already gotten ahead of the curve, holding the cross. He might be able to get the bomb. Oh, that's a big kill. Does he realize there's a 2nd player up here?
It's going to be a close one.
He thinks he has to plant. Mozino pushed out of position, legged by the AWP, and now knows that he needs to deal with this threat as well.
Both of these players for Mibr are incredibly close to falling. It's going to be a reposition here from Fallen as he goes back into Z. Mauzino still trained over towards the truck wall. And Tarek, as he clears out Forklift, is going to have to be first contact, I'd say. I think he may have just heard the scope.
Yeah.
He just heard the scope from Manice. Now Manice is going to come across, and Tarek jumps over. No! They got it! Fallen setting up his team for success.
Oh, they
And
have
the
the
defuse
kit.
is there.
Oh my God, they actually did it.
What was that, 2v5? Or 2v4? Yeah, 2v5, because Fallen, yeah, it was Fallen and Tarek. Fallen kills Taz in middle, and then they pull it back. Oh my God.
The fact that Fallen kills the player trying to cross and then hits the guy next to truck wall with almost the kill. It was a leg shot. It could have been even smoother.
Tarek literally hops over a scope, and that was Kinguin's free route to match point. They would have had, look at, like Mibr have no money left over. There's not going to be a way for them to force.
Oh, talk about getting ahead of yourselves. Kinguin are going to not be happy.
Maybe a nice scope. That's why Tarek jumps. He knows he's scoped in. Still going to be a quick response coming in from Kinguin. They've got themselves the double. Mouse is fired up. He may be tagged down to 30 health, but it seems as though Fur's going to have to forfeit mid control. So Kinguin contesting for OT.
But we have seen them in this position before, Connor. This is not a done deal. We already know these AWPs can turn around any possible position. And Cold has started it off. A long road to success in this round for the Brazilians, but it's still very doable. And it is just that Brazilian core left, the 3.
Yeah, they've knocked off a couple pawns in this round, but these ops, they can cut off long lanes. You know, they're not going to provide any comfort to Kinguin, knowing that there's still 2 on the map. And as they have started to perform this pincer move, they've actually aggressed into A main along with Coldzera getting his pick at B, allowing for the stack to come to the correct site. The first shot goes off.
Plenty more where that came from. The Molotov forces him out. He's got to move. He's got no smoke to cover it, but Rita's already dropped him. 30 seconds left, and Fur can try and stop the bomb, but it will only help for so long. There's 2 players here in the trenches, and he's looking to get dirty. Second teammate coming in all the way from the flank, and now the bomb down on the site with Reet also in the back of the checkers. This is looking very good for Kinguin. Not an easy retake.
Fur has a ton of information. He knows no one's crossed left side sight until right now. That question has not been answered. Mouse has an interesting position. Didn't help him cross onto the plant. And they have to look for the 3rd, which is Fallen's job. Molotov comes out to assist him in the move. Reetz actually finds the frag, though.
And that could convince Fer to bail, even if he wanted to. The choice not his. Kinguin continue on after the plant. A good little turnaround. There was a chance made by Mibr. You said it. We've seen them in those scenarios. And so Kinguin also have it fresh on their minds that they can't write them off despite the double man disadvantage. Good entry from Mauzino. He is single-handedly stepping up here, leaps and bounds above the rest of Kinguin. And a reset towards the end of a second half is never fun for the team on 15. But they've got guns at least to work with.
2 pistols, 3 rifles. I mean, Fallen doesn't even have armor on this round, Connor. This could come back to haunt Mibr.
Oh.
Shots attempted. They're going to finally stop ringing through, allowing Stewie to get on the top of the box.
Those bullet holes so close to the mark.
See the wood chips just threatening that position.
And this is the first time we've seen Mibr actually use his boost as well, so this could really catch Kinguin off guard. coldzera does a bit of early damage up in the vents, but he'll fall back without too much of a fight back. And again, with 2 pistols, it's so important that Mibr start things off, take that man advantage.
Yeah, but you can see that after he did that damage, he fell out because he gave up his position. Now he's worried about the vent molly that was imminent, but after that, they don't have any map control to fall back upon, and it's too early in the round for them to recede this far into Z and onto A site. At least they have the boost going for them on A site, but it's only going to strain the rotates if it's a B hit, and it's clear that Kinguin are deciding to posture up for it. We'll see if they pull off the gamble. We're close to Macau. I can't think of a better time to try.
Yet to round the corner, Reitz trying to use a bit of a verticality. Now they're going to be able to close that gap. Look at the way they're bursting forward. Tarek and Stewie with 2.
Oh,
Fallen
no.
with the 3rd, but now Kinguin respond at the last possible moment. It falls onto Reitz, and he's dropped the bomb behind him. 15 seconds. He needs to prioritize plan. He's got it back in his position. But he's going to find no cover. So close, he's got to be cautious. Tarek's going to charge it in, so he tries to pin him into the corner, but Reitz with 6 HP has nothing left to do. He came off of the plant, and like that, King